This is my daughter KP. She's a genius, and here's why. She's figured out without anyone telling her that the best place to take in a sunset on the river is down on the water. There's no bugs on the water. There's no mosquitoes, no flies, no anything. She sits there and watches the sunset almost every night. And for that, she's a genius. We needed to do some work to the gill net, so we set it out in our slough where the current was much less and we could have some time to go through it and make sure everything was good for the season. Here I'm showing Killian how to do it. Someone showed me, so I thought I'd pass it on. Methodically and patiently, the idea of this is to set one side of the gill net to the bank and then slowly back out into the current to where fish going upstream will get caught in the gill net. Doesn't always work that way for me, but it was good that Killian was there to experience a portion of this. As you flake it out of the bucket, you're pulling sticks and grass, and if there's time, you're doing any mending you can. We practice this in front of my place, so when it comes time to get out in the main channel where the current's a little faster, sometimes it's a little more dangerous, things can go, fingers crossed, flawlessly. It doesn't always work that way though. There's lots more to this process, such as correct buoys, marking of the buoys, making sure the legalities of all this is taken care of, fishing in a section and a time when it's legal. This we were just going through. It was easier to set it out in the river and get everything straightened out and clean than it was to lay it up on the bank where we get stuck with dogs and sticker bushes and other little things that we have to fight. Now I want to repeat, for those in the back that aren't listening, we did not leave this net in the river to fish. It wasn't legally ready to do so. It was just a safe, easy place to get the process down before we actually go out and go fishing. I don't know what happened the year before when this net got put up, but it wasn't put up this way by me. There were so many tangles and so much garbage in the net that it took forever to get this thing to where it would lay out nice. But we got it cleaned up, we got it all put away and ready to use for the next time. So I guess mission accomplished on this one. These uniquely Alaskan little life lessons hopefully are going to stick with these kids. I know they stay with me. We talked about having a covered porch, so we decided we were going to put some greenhouse panels on top of the front portion of the cabin. 2 years later, I'm happy to report that this idea has been solid. It's held up well. It's held up to the second largest snowfall that we've had in the interior in like 30 years. So this was an experiment that worked out really well. And as quick as the rain started, it stopped. The sun came out from behind the clouds, and life was good again. And then the mosquitoes came. This trip was particularly special for me because after years of failed attempts, we finally got my oldest daughter, Madison, to come up there and spend some time with us. Here it is, her coming into shore for the first time ever. There's a few things in life that make a dad pretty darn happy. This was one of them. To have both my kids, my wife, my dog, at a cabin that we've all built together was pretty damn special. And the weekend only got better from there.
Keep going. Okay, here, look, watch this.
I don't care who you are, live music near a campfire is always pretty cool. Hardcore shout out to Alaska's very own Ukulele Russ and my daughter Madison. Thanks, guys.
That was awesome.
We got a game up there we play called Tenzi. Tenzi. It's a dice game played with 4 people. Lots of different things you can do with it, but the end result is we always end up laughing, goofing around. Rarely are feelings ever hurt with our family. We took the rest of the day off and went down to a creek so we can get a little boat ride in. Played a little bit, swam a little bit, fished a little bit, cooked a little food, and just basically enjoyed being around as a family. Here I'm showing Killian how to use the gold pan to do a little prospecting. We found gold in every single creek, everywhere near our place. So it's been kind of cool. Nothing to write home about, but we have found color.
Now you gotta get head to toe. No! You might as well. You're only missing about a foot. No.
When we got back from the creek, it was time to build a new Tenzi board. So we did. Worked out pretty good, and then back to the dice we went. We knocked out a few more chores, went fishing, caught a fish, and then rain was in the forecast, so we had to stretch a tarp, getting ready for the next stage of our visitors. My good friend Greg and his amazing family took a couple days off and came downriver and hung out with us. We've been invited multiple times to his cabin, so it was fantastic to be able to host them and return the favor.
Oh my goodness.
This particular weekend that everybody showed up, we celebrated mine and my wife's anniversary, my birthday, Father's Day, and maybe a couple other things, but I don't remember. It was a great time for everyone to get together. Well, the weather cleared up and they volunteered to help me throw a little tin up on the roof. I don't know what the temperature is in the metric system, but it was 8 quadrillion degrees Kelvin mega. Panhandle of Florida, mercury, fly too close to the sun temperature on top of that roof with that black plastic up there. It sucked, but had to be done. We had a rope tying me off to the roof so when I fell, we could at least locate the body. That wasn't working out too well, so we took an old ladder and built a roof ladder out of it so I could have a little more stable platform to work off of. It was pretty hokey, but it worked.
Smile. Hey, you already got a photographer.
It's all right, handyman. It's all right.
Tied to the tree.
We don't want to add a shitload of weight.
Yeah, no, we love weight.
We love weight. So
What are you talking here?
give me one of those small ones. Oops.
You know what his middle name is, right? Have you ever seen the guy?
That's Kevin's middle name too.
Must have been the 1968, 69, 70 era.
Yeah.
I watched.
Obviously, a bolt would be better.
You've watched
Not
MacGyver?
bolt, but
I
Which
have
I
a
don't
pain
have.
right
But
here.
I don't know.
I've got Tylenol and ibuprofen. What would you like? Would you like some of my coffee? You can't. Well,
fuck, why do I want to?
I mean, we could drill it, but
Could you go in and get my drill bits?
that's the one we want.
Yogurt-see. Do you want? Well, that went quick.
Same thing there, same thing.
Ganail. A ganail. If you were,
Good, I like it when you hang out with us.
if you were a can of canals. Ah, good bit.
On the table.
I was sleeping over here. I have to be as close to you as possible so I can supervise.
You know what I have?
What you got? Clamps.
Blue, other than when they got it wet.
Lined up nice. Don't you bend the edge of that tin.
You're almost, there you go.
There you got something. You got it. You're a little tangled up in the rope. It'll probably just barely let you hit the ground.
What a great feeling it was to have all the tin on that roof and knowing that the cabin is finally dried in after all these years. It was an amazing feeling, and all I could really do was sit back and look at what we accomplished. I appreciate you, Greg. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, who you got?
Yeah, I think I saved him off the extreme shallow too.
All great accomplishments in life and up at the cabins usually end in a boat ride. So that's what we did. Went across the river, goofed around on a sandbar, and just let the dogs and the kids lose their mind.
So that's what he wants to put it in.
The bugs are usually a little better on the other side. Today, not so much. If you watch the camera and the screen, you can see them flying back and forth. Had to get in the water just to get them off him.
Traded him, he needed a door for his Chevy pickup. He had this watercraft that was for 2-3 years. Anyway, so he came and got the door, so...
At this point, I probably should ask if there's any way anyone knows how you could keep kids or Labradors out of water. If you do, drop it in the comments. Let us know what you think. I think you're going to be wrong in the end anyways. Plus, it was great watching them. Endless smiles, desserts, sitting by the campfire, and tuckered out dogs. In 1,000 years, I can't imagine it getting any better than this.